Folks, let me ask you a question. If the Warriors had got to game 6, Steph Curry played, would we have won the series? Comment your thoughts, subscribe. Well, the Warriors didn't get there, and they did their postseason, end of season press conferences. Steph, Dre, Kuminga, Butler, all of them. Myself and Arthur are going to break down each press conference, and we have to start with the main man, Steph Curry. We're going to play his clips talking about his injury, the season as a whole, his future, the Warriors organization. So I want you to comment your thoughts on everything he says. His word has value. It means a lot. Randy Silver, please like and subscribe to Warriors Digest. We're giving you the news on Giannis, the Warriors' plans for the offseason, making big trades, centers to get like Lopez, everything in between. You don't want to miss anything. We've gained over 400 subscribers in 24 hours. 4 videos have come out. Warriors Digest is your spot to go because we give you stuff like this. Wrong picture. Here we go. The Golden State Warriors offseason roster per ESPN. Their starting 5 moving into next season, they have Curry, Podziemski, Moody, Butler, and Green. Now, I see a lot of comments saying Podziemski needs to be behind Curry as a backup guard. I agree. That was DeAnthony Melton starting 2. Then he got hurt, of course, and got traded away. Buddy Hield is a reserve. He's here. Santos, Post, and Jackson-Davis are still here for a couple more years as well. Free agents, let me bring that up. Kuminga's restricted. Spenser's restricted. Armstrong is restricted. Everyone else, free agents. I expect them to bring back Santos. Knox maybe gets an opportunity on a different team. Looney and Payton, I think, will be casualties and will be gone to try to retool this team to get bigger and a better center. Projected salary, $171 million. With 3 of it, $130 million of it basically to Curry, Butler, and Green. That's a lot. The good thing is they have $16 million to the tax threshold, $195 million to the first apron, so they have some room, but not a lot. Again, if you want to re-sign Kuminga, $20 million, that puts you at $191, and you're going to have to basically go over the first apron, and you're going to have handcuffs on. So we show you this throughout the offseason. Again, we'll show you this throughout the offseason. We'll show you this throughout the offseason, how everything builds up. So make sure you subscribe. And all this plays a part into what, not yet, my bad, into what Steph Curry wants to do. We have 1 draft pick at 41st. So how do we retool this team around Steph Curry? Well, the first question is, do we have championship caliber with Steph Curry playing?
Off-season torture and what could have been. How close would you say you were to playing?
Everything was kind of aligned for Game 6. I had some testing to do, and who knows how that would have went because I hadn't gone live since Game 1. And first time dealing with this injury, I was pretty optimistic, but there were a couple more check points to get through. But it's the great what if.
It's the great what if. If Curry had the opportunity playing Game 6, I think he would have played. I was optimistic. I was feeling good. A couple more checks. Back at home, Chase Center, maybe comes off the bench and can control his minutes with the crowd behind him. I think he plays. Again, they had 4 days, basically 3 days between Game 5 and Game 6. Curry brought the Warriors 4 championships. The Warriors couldn't get them 1 win without Curry. That hurts a lot. That really does hurt a lot. Now, what about his thoughts of, not playing and being on the sidelines, how that affected him, which has happened a little bit more than he would like in his career. Not with the hamstring injury, but we know with his ankles and other things like that.
It's tough, man. That's the first for me. Obviously every season ends in some way, shape, or form. We've had 4 years where it's ended great for us, and the times you leave it all out on the floor and give whatever you have to try to either make the playoffs or keep your season alive or whatever it is, and sit on the sidelines. It's weird. You wish you were out there to be able to do something about it, but it just wasn't in the cards this year. And we gave a great effort the last since February to give ourselves a chance. And yeah, we've been up here talking about it since then, and every game since. Just all we wanted was a chance, and to finish the year like we did, and to sneak in the playoffs, win that first round. Like, there's a lot to be proud of for sure, considering where we were, but definitely disappointed and frankly just sad that I wasn't out there able to play. So we have hopefully a bright future in terms of coming back next year and trying again.
I love everything he said there. Again, this team was 26-26 or 26-25 when Jimmy Butler came. They were 11th seed, not even in the play-in, and then they were one of the hottest teams the last half of the season. They went like 23-7, something like that. Could have been a top 6 team. Lost bad towards the end of the season to the Hawks and the Heat. Number 7 seed, won a play-in game, fantastic. Beat the Rockets in 7, the number 2 seed, and lost to the Wolves without Curry. So to me, again, I put this video out yesterday. Is this a win or a loss season? It's a win. When you look at the roller coaster, when you look at the number of wins the Warriors were projected by like Vegas and them, 42, they won 48. I said 50, or they won 49. So overall, it was a success. Obviously, a player of Curry's caliber, 4 championships, Olympic gold medalist. You want to win the title, so it's going to be disappointing, especially when you can't play because you're hurt. Now, someone who also was hurt this season who played in Curry's absence in this series was JK. Is he coming back or not? Is he somebody they can build around? Curry on Kuminga's season. The fact that he's had playing time and hadn't been in and out of the rotation, that's tough for any player, let alone a young guy who's trying to figure it out in the league. I commend him on just staying ready. That's not easy to do. He's grown a lot. He's been dealt a very tough hand, to be honest. He had to handle his business in terms of just getting better and just trying to focus on what it means to become a better version of himself. So not a lot there in terms of like dissecting what Curry said. It's very straightforward. If you want the video on Kuminga, don't worry. Arthur and I will be coming out with it on his thoughts. Subscribe, you don't miss it. Comment what you think Curry said. He stayed ready. Again, Kuminga came back from an injury with Butler, which is a completely different team, and he never really got his spot back in the rotation. When Curry was out, there were other injuries in December, early January. Kuminga was the guy, putting up around 30 points a game. He has that potential. He can do it. Is he the right fit for this team? I see a lot of comments saying, yo, Randy, yo, Arthur, what the heck? Like, he is. Look what he did off the bench. Yes, but that was without Curry. The question is, can he play with Curry, Butler, and Green? Because those guys aren't going anywhere unless something crazy seismic happens. And you have to look at, again, how much Kuminga will probably get on the open market. We can qualify him at $7.6 million. However, folks, he's probably going to get $20 to $30 million. That is something that a bench player, 30 points per game off the bench, what he did in the playoffs, something that a team will offer him full time. And the Warriors, again, if you look at it, if you give him 20, 30 million, you match that, you don't have a well-rounded team around. So you have to be able to do the highs and lows that go with the roster construction as well. Now, Curry, talking about, do you view this as a 2-year window with 2 years left in your contract? Yes, but I'm also just looking forward to next year. Want this ride to last as long as possible, but it's about what this team needs for next year. So the question is that JK? Is that Giannis? Mortgaging the future? Whatever it may be. For Kuminga, again, the future is bright, whether it's here or wherever. Hopefully he's got a lot moving in. He has gone through a lot that most people have in 4 years. Hopefully he's better because of it. Kuminga does seem mature. It's not Curry saying, I want him here, which he could be very vocal in the media. He's saying we'll see what happens on his future, which I think is telling. Because Curry could demand it. Maybe he's doing it behind the doors, but not doing it to the media. On the roster, I don't know. I know it's the best question you can ask right after the season. It's also tricky because I love every guy in the locker room. Curry's a good human being. Expect nothing less from him. And that's not really his job. I mean, he can give input to Kerr, to Mike Dunleavy Jr., Joe Lacob. But it's their job to figure out. What we know, they need size in the paint for better rebounding. They need taller wings who are better perimeter defenders. And they need more three-point shooting because we got cold very quickly. And probably a backup point guard. Steph Curry in the media, leave me alone this summer. No Olympics. He'll go to Tahoe, do the golf tournament, but I'm sure he's just going to hang out with his family. Kuminga, Jimmy Butler, of course. There was a lot of chatter whether it was the right trade or not when it happened. It went down. There was emotional period because we lost 3 of our guys. But the first game in Chicago, he was seen was fit. He gave us so much belief that we could win any given night, and we saw it proved to be successful, getting us to the second round when we really weren't anywhere near that at any point. Curry's going to watch the Valkyries, the women's team. First game is tonight. Check them out. And then leave me alone this summer. So, again, that will take us to Jimmy. There's Draymond. You got Buddy. And you got JK. So there's a lot of people that we need to talk about. We're going to go over between Arthur and I. So go ahead and subscribe and like the Warriors Digest. Comment your thoughts on what Curry said. Nothing eye-opening, but again, it's telling that he's like, hey, we do new roster changes. I won't put in the public, but we do know as fans, I'm sure the front office knows things need to change. Comment your thoughts, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.